Hi, it's me, Rhonda McKnight, and I am here to read an excerpt from the first chapter of my upcoming novel, The Thing About Home. The Thing About Home is the story of a disgraced social media influencer named Casey Black who flees to South Carolina's Lowcountry in search of refuge and connection to family she's never known. Okay, so this comes out on May 9th, 2023. It will be in paperback, obviously. I was holding it on ebook format, and audiobook, wherever books are sold. And it's available for pre order right now. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a little taste of this story. And I'm going to start from page 1. March 1st, 2019. I stepped into my limousine and pressed the bottom of my wedding dress flat. The scent of coconut and lemongrass filled the interior of the cabin. I imagined if cream and sunshine had a scent, this would be it. Today I needed aromatherapy to do what it was supposed to do, relax me. Congratulations on your wedding, the driver offered me a genuine smile. Thank you. It's a vow renewal ceremony. I hunched my shoulders like an excited teenager. 7 years. That's a lot to be proud of. He's a lucky man. Drew and I were both lucky. That's what I told myself just this morning. But still, an uneasiness rose in my belly and formed a knot dead center. Something was bothering me, and I couldn't put my finger on what. A lingering shiver died in the heat of the warm vehicle. I dropped into the plush leather seat and pushed the niggling thought of worry from my mind. Heaven. I closed my eyes and moaned like I'd taken shoes off after waiting tables for 12 hours. This car was everything. The door opened again. I have your bag. My assistant, Swella Avery, was gifted in assisting. I opened my eyes and squinted against the sunlight gleaming over Swella's shoulder. As soon as I get back from my honeymoon, you are getting a huge bonus. Swella's green eyes bugged like glassy volcanic rock. Her luminous spiked red hair shot out like lava from a recent eruption. Please let it be enough for the new Valentino jeans. I laughed. Done. Now don't text me, don't call me, don't anything me. I need a few minutes of peace. Peace is yours. Swella poked her head in and inhaled demonstratively. I didn't overdo it with the spray, did I? Not waiting for my answer, she snatched her head back out. We better get going. She wangled her shoulders and reminded me, it's almost over. With a shove of the door, she disappeared, and I was sure she was just glad to get this day ticked off her to-do list. It was 7 months in the making, and I'd been running her all over the city. Guilt rushed in. I could have let her ride with me. That's what she wanted. That was what that whole I have your bag intrusion was about. But I didn't owe her a piece of my space. Not today. I wanted quiet. I wanted to be alone with my thoughts. The car rolled forward, moving effortlessly through my Park Slope neighborhood, past Prospect Park on the left. I watched the tops of bare trees fly by. A light coat of ice from the sprinkling of snow we'd had the day before decorated the limbs. I was hopeful they would have leaves soon. A month ago, the groundhog forecast an early spring, but he was unreliable. New York winters submitted to no authority, certainly not one steeped in superstition and regulated by a rodent. My phone buzzed. Expecting it to be Drew, I warmed a little around my heart. He hadn't texted or called me since early this morning. We weren't in new love, but I expected a little romance and excitement. The text was from my mother. Don't be late. As if, I whispered, deleting it. I was 36 years old, and I'd never been late to any meeting or event in my life. My mother's lectures on timeliness were repetitive and exhausting, yet effective. So I was grateful for her consistency. I swiped until I located my husband's number and tapped to dial. After 2 rings, it went to his voicemail. He's busy. That's what I told myself. But a strange tension hovered in our home, one that I summarily dismissed as pre-renewal stress. But try as I might to ignore it, my intuition kept nagging in a familiar, female voice, my own, that something was wrong, or maybe it was that something was worse. Things had been off between Drew and I for a long time, but in 45 minutes we'd declare our love, celebrate it, and then fix whatever might be broken under the warm Hawaiian sun. I raised the phone, twisted my face into that dumb duck lip, and captured my image. Humming to the lyrics playing in my mind, I typed the caption, I'm at the chapel and I'm going to get married. Minutes later, with the help of the driver, I eased out of the limo and joined my part of the wedding party, which included my maid of honor, cousin, and bestie, Leslie Parker, and my former supermodel friends, Alexis and Reese, all but Swella, who I treated to a black and crystal-beaded Carolina Herrera suit, were wearing form-fitting, off-the-shoulder, silk sage dresses under faux fur shawls that matched the fur wrap, keeping me warm. Let's get a pic, Swella suggested, and the women I loved flanked me and posed with enthusiasm and bright smiles. Waving us toward the building, Swella led our small party through the packed parking lot. The cars were all empty. Everyone was inside. It hadn't snowed or rained as predicted. I silenced the annoying little voice again. It was a liar. Today was going to be perfect. 20 minutes later, the annoying little voice could no longer be ignored. This wasn't a wedding, but I told Drew I didn't want him to see me until the ceremony. So when he knocked on the door of my bridal suite and insisted I join him across the hall in the pastor's study, the hairs stood up on the back of my neck. The heavy door closed with a thud that echoed in the corridor behind us. I waited a beat, and then another, as Drew stood there in his luxurious Giorgio Armani tuxedo, the tuxedo I picked out for him. Discomfort reddened his face. He looked away from me. When he returned his eyes, his expression was odd, so I steeled myself for what he had to say. I can't go through with the ceremony. Drew's brittle words floated above me. They wouldn't land in my brain, but I registered fear. It slammed into my back, splitting me in two. Casey 90 seconds ago, and Casey now. So that is about half of the first chapter. And so I'll come back maybe with the other half of the first chapter. And later this week, thank you for listening, and I hope you'll consider pre-ordering The Thing About Home. It's a story with characters you won't soon forget.